Goalkeepers, nervous strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
Hello there, Nigerian football fans and football fans everywhere. In today's video, we'll be talking about three young maestros, three young midfielders that I think the Nigerian Super Eagles and NFF should at least look at. I'm not saying necessarily invite them immediately, but have a look at them. Begin to look at ways to integrate them and bring them into the fold of the Nigerian football ecosystem. So if it means they have to be in the under-20s, if it means they have to be in the under-23s, if it means they're good enough to get into the Super Eagles, then that should be done. That's what I mean. Not necessarily that immediately they go into Super Eagles, but to be integrated into the Nigerian football ecosystem. Just like with Morocco, Ibrahim Rabaj is now going to play for Morocco, so he's going to be with the under-17 for the under-17 AFCON. So that's how he's now been integrated into the Moroccan football ecosystem. So I want the same for these players I'm about to talk about. Now, the first one is he's in Bayer Leverkusen, and I think he's made his debut this season, but he's still a youngster, so I don't think he'll really be featuring that much, for the Bayer Leverkusen first team. He is Francis Onyeka. Francis Onyeka is a dynamic attacking midfielder. So he prefers to play behind a lone striker or play behind a two-man attacking front line. Sort of like a Florian Wirtz, for instance, that plays for, the Bayer Leverkusen first team and plays for Germany, sort of that kind of player. He's not there yet. Just remember, just like I said with, Onyebuchi Obasi, that he's in the vein of Vinicius Junior, but not yet at his level, but that's the kind of caliber, of player. He is at the sort of profile of player. So this same, similar, this applies to Francis Onyeka. He is in the sort of profile or mold of Florian Wirtz, skillful, dynamic, has an eye for goal, and an eye for defense splitting passes as well. So he's someone that I want the Nigerian NFF to begin to look at. He's eligible to play for Germany and to play for Nigeria. His father is Nigerian, so you have that. So for me, the steps need to begin from today. Need to begin soonest, to begin to look for ways to integrate him into the overall football ecosystem. Now, I've heard some people say, "Oh, you see how Rabat decided to play for Morocco." Other Nigerians Nigerian players who have dual nationality, or players with dual nationality that did play for Nigeria, they like to be begged, they like people to bow down to them. I find that really strange. It's odd. They have the right to their opinion, which that's what the world is all about. You have the right to opinion in whether YouTube space, X space, regular everyday life. You have the right to your opinion, but your opinion can be wrong. And in this instance, that argument is wrong and is flawed in my opinion, because look at the list of people of players who had dual nationalities that have decided to play for Morocco. At this point, it's almost like 10 or 11 at this minute. So it goes to show you that there's an intent. Your football federation has to show intent, pure intent, because like I said, these players growing up in England, Germany, Spain, Italy, whichever other country in Europe, what happens is that sometimes they get this programming that, playing for your African country isn't the best for you. Playing for your African country, affects your profile as a player. And then when you now have a football federation from the African side that is not on it, that is not showing intent, that does not connect, with these players, then those false narratives, the false notions that are told to these players, begin to ring true in their minds. Oh, this what I was told growing up, it feels like it's true, because this football federation, they're not doing their utmost to get in touch with me, to connect with me, so then that rings true. The Moroccan FA, they've shown intent, or Algerian FA, they've shown intent to get people to, to play for them. So for me, I think this guy is someone we do not want to lose. He's not yet at the level of Ethan Waneri, but he is a sort of player. So I think that's someone that Nigerian Super Eagles should look at. Eric Chelle should look at as well, because at this point, we should begin to look beyond, this AFCON, beyond the World Cup coming in 2026, and then look into the future as well, because people are beginning to retire. And the captain of the Nigerian Super Eagles, he said he'll be retiring. This is last AFCON. Who knows if indeed it will be his last tournament overall, so maybe he doesn't play in the 2026 World Cup. Maybe he plays, who knows? But back to the point, Francis Onyeka, a delightfully talented player that I think Nigeria NFF should look at. Then we move on to the next one, who is Daniel Daga. Daniel Daga used to play for Aimba. He's a youngster as well. He's moved to join Molde FK in Norway. I think he scored as well in their UEFA Conference League game. I think against Shamrock Rovers. So he's a fantastic talent. He's kind of a six that sits in front of the back four, back three, whatever, and shields them, reads dangers, is mobile on the ball, and helps help put pressure on the opposition and front line in terms of when you're talking about press, and he's press resistant as well. So he's one player that I think the NFF should invite and try to integrate him even more so into the Nigerian national team, whether it's for the under-20s or going into Super Eagles itself. And now I want to say this: he doesn't have dual nationality. He just has Nigerian nationality. So then this is another issue I want to talk about, which is because each time you talk about players with dual nationality, you see people come up with different excuses. Oh, we don't want to beg this one. You see some even Nigerian, football fans say, oh, this player, he was trained by England, he was trained by France. Why do we want to rip forward North? Like, what are you talking about? You're being silly. But that aside, now this one, he has only Nigerian citizenship. So what is the excuse for this one? Any excuse? No excuse. I know you have people like Ebenezer Akinsimero ahead of him for sure, Christian Uche ahead of him for sure, Onyeka ahead of him for sure. But this is the time you begin to integrate these players because for one, Wilfred Ndidi, I think his time is coming to an end. This Nations Cup may be his last tournament, and you need not only the first phase, or your first choices for your center midfield role, but you need the second phase as well. And like I said, if we want to go with Eric Chelle's 4-3-1-2 formation, there's a lot of room and there'll be a lot of opportunities to get for that central midfield spot because you'll be fighting for three spots. So Daniel Daga is a player to look out for. And then last but not least is Victor Eletu. Now, Victor Eletu for me is a special player. I think he's just recovered from injury, and he played for AC Milan Academy. He used to be the captain of the under-20 side, if I'm not mistaken, or Nigeria under-20 side, if I'm not mistaken. I think he is, for me, a kind of like a Luka Modric kind of player. He is a deep line playmaker. He can tackle, no doubt. I think he is the best of both worlds, where you have the qualities of Modric and the qualities of Kante. Now, he is yet not on that level. Get it? Because when you mention the name of an established player with a young player, people always go like, oh, are you trying to say he's at the level? No. I'm not saying he's at the level of Kante. No, he is in that mold. He has bits of Kante and bits of Modric in terms of being press resistant. That's for Modric. Being able to pick out the pass and being dynamic and supporting the attacking midfield and the attack. So in that regard, he's kind of like Modric, but in terms of being able to read the attack of opposition, intercepting passes from the opposition, he's like Kante in that regard. He still has a way to go in terms of developing and getting to that level, but I think once again, he just had Nigerian citizenship and eligible to play for all in Nigeria at the minute. So I think while the NFF, I'm not saying fast track him into the Super Eagles, who knows, he may be good enough to play for Super Eagles, but integrate him, make him feel like he's part of the Nigerian football ecosystem. Don't just allow him wallow there in Italy with no connection, and you're not making him feel like he's really part of the Nigerian system, because he is a wonderful talent, a special talent. When I saw a couple of videos about this of Victor Eletu, I was like, wow, Nigeria has struck gold, in my opinion. Struck gold with this player. The only thing, he's kind of like in the Ebenezer Akinsimero. I think that's where we should sit. But the only thing I think, apart from Ebenezer Akinsimero being more advanced in years than Eletu, is that Ebenezer Kinsimero is a taller, huger player. He has more, you know, he's more physical in terms of appearance. He's taller than Victor Letu. But other than that, I think that gameplay is sort of similar. People are able to control the pace of the game, as well as contributing defensively and in offensively as well. So then, yeah, so Victor Letu. So for me, I think this is a player that the NFF should seriously look at. You know, bring him in, make him part of the system. Like I said, he can be one of those players that are on standby, not necessarily you go in and you start playing immediately, but on standby, be the second phase. Like I said, behind Frank, Rafael Onyedika, behind Chris Santos Uche, behind Ebenezer Kinsimero, you know, behind these players, and then this could be the second phase. So, my thoughts and opinions on these players. I want to know what you think. You know, let me know in the comment section, and I definitely read the comments. I read the comments. There's some interesting comments that I've been reading over some time, and for sure, I would be responding to that. I think I should probably do a video where I respond to some of these comments, and I'd like to know what you think about the comments as well. So leave your comments in the comment section. Maybe it becomes one of those that I select to talk about on a video such as this. But at this moment, I've come to the end of this video. But don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell so you're notified each time I go live on the channel or post a pre-recorded video such as this one. So at this minute, I say, do have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay well and stay blessed.